Welcome to this week's show, which is a North East Football Writers Special, and it's actually a black tie event.
Where I didn't get the memo, roll the titles. Well, here we are at the North East Football Writers Awards at Ramside Hall. A cracking event. It's a must-go event for every football fan on the North East football calendar. And Les got me the invite but didn't tell us to wear a black tie.
Well, I always look smarter than you anyway, to be fair, so I think even if you were in black tie, you're going to struggle.
There's people here anyway from the whole of the football world, whether it's the Premier League, whether it's the Championship, the Football League or the Northern League, and we're going to catch up with every single member of those leagues at this event. We've managed to grab a few interviews with some top names, talking to a friend of the show, Steve Howie, about Newcastle United's season so far. Also talking to Colin Young, who organises the event. He's a well-known journalist for the Daily Mail and who's pulled the event together. Also catching up with Nick Gray from Morpeth, and a night where Sunderland, believe it or not, actually have won something. Not just one trophy, but two. So Les, bit of a dream night for you.
Yes, well deserved as well. I'm going to ask Jordan, obviously how his injury's going, when he thinks he'll be back, but more importantly I want to speak to Jermaine about the possibility of playing for England and whether he still thinks it's possible.
So that's Jermaine Defoe and Jordan Pickford coming up with their exclusive interviews for the North East Football Show. Okay, we're here with the organiser of the awards tonight, Colin Young. Colin, well done, mate. Great room. I organise events for a living, but you do this once a year. You've done a cracking job. Great turnout. Tell us how long you've been involved in it.
I've been involved with the Football Writers since I came up here, which was 1996. With the association, shortly after that, I started getting involved in the committee and this event and the dinner. Specifically as the sort of chief organiser really for the last 5 or 6 years, I think, where since the year that Gary Speed died was probably the first year that I did it.
Some big names in the room: Alan Shearer, Jermaine Defoe, Steve Harper, Paul Bracewell's here as well, David Moyes coming along, some huge names from North East football, yeah, both past and present. The awards though, of course, tonight are going to Defoe and to Pickford, the main awards. Good choices?
Yeah, I mean, what you have to bear in mind is that it's 2016. It's the calendar. We always go for the calendar year. I mean, the guy, I think there's only Aguero, Kane, Costa scored more goals in the Premier League than Jermaine Defoe in that calendar year. During that time, obviously, his goals kept Sunderland up, and they've given them a fighting chance again, despite the result yesterday of staying up for another year. So. From that perspective, I don't actually think, and I know from the voting, there was nobody else in it. It's very rare, actually, you get a unanimous victory in the Player of the Year. It's usually quite close between 1 or 2 or 3. He won it by an absolute mile. Couldn't see anybody else. Jordan was slightly different because he spent 4 or 5 months at Preston initially, but his performances clearly there were good enough to come back to Sunderland, get in the first team, and until his injury, I don't think that there was a better player under the age of sort of 22, 21 than Jordan, really.
What's the other awards that are given out tonight then?
We have, they don't specifically have a name, but I think in recognition of the few achievements that we manage in the North East, the non-league teams have obviously had another good year, so we're recognising Darlington's promotion, Spennymoor's promotion, and Morpeth winning the FA Vars. The Bobby Robson Foundation, or Sir Bobby Robson Foundation, are here again, and they have made Steve Harper their Personality of the Year award, and we're delighted to be a part of that award giving, and that'll be done tonight, which is why Alan's here. And we also have what we call the John Fotheringham Award, which is a journalist who was involved in the organisation of the dinner from the outset, died prematurely, and since then we've given an award for services to North East football to one particular person. So that'll be happening tonight. I can't reveal who that is at the moment, but we'll be recognising him as well.
I'll let you get back to the canapes and the champagne, but congratulations on a great event, Colin. Thanks very much.
Good to see you as well.
And you, mate. Take care.
So Steve, you come to an awards night. What better award could you get than the Sir Bobby Robson Award?
Well, it's fantastic honour, really. You know, similar to myself, Durham lad, not from a million miles away from here as well, and he was a big part of my time at Newcastle. That was a time for me where obviously Shea was doing very well, and he was very persuasive, Bobby Robson. I'd go in and ask to go out on loan, and he was very persuasive. He really did sell Newcastle United and what we could achieve, and that 5-year period, if I had gone somewhere else, I wouldn't have got the opportunity to play as many games in Europe and the Champions League. And I think the thing for me with Sir Bobby was, you know, the charitable angle. He knew that football is all about people, and I think that's a reflection tonight of just the effort, obviously not just with my testimonial money as well, but how important people are, and the charities, local charities, which I continue to support to this day, because it's very important in football. You know, I think we're in danger with the Premier League of creating a monster, really, with that detachment from everyday life, because we're all just normal people doing something we're fortunate enough to be good at, and it's important to keep that connection with the real fans.
I picked up on that myself when you're on stage, and there's actually 2 people who have mentioned that, how strong a message it was that the players nowadays are getting out of our reach. So it was great to hear what you'd said, but also you touched on depression side of things. That was something I didn't know about.
Yeah, I was 30 at the time, and it was in that period where I wasn't in the team. I hadn't been in the team for a while, and things just get on top of you, and it's something that at the time I wasn't comfortable speaking out about. But I had a really tough time, and I had the help of some good people at the club. And I think the problem with it is the stigma attached to it is that people don't talk out about it. It's something men especially try and fight themselves. And as I said, football players are just normal people like everybody else. And if they can have a tough time, then every day, you know, men and women, and it's a silent illness that if you try and fight yourself, it's very tough. And back then, 11 years ago, only when I opened up about it did I realise just how common it is. Like I said, got some good help from some good people. So I would urge anybody who is having a tough time, and we live in difficult times, it's something that can affect anybody. It's not about money, fame. It can happen to, you know, whether you're Richard Branson or, you know, an everyday person in the street. It can strike at any time. So, you know, the message I would say to anybody is, please don't suffer in silence.
That's a great message, and we'll leave it there. Thanks very much, Stephen. Well done on the award. Thank you.
Nick, good to see the Northern League represented in awards like this. You're up for an award tonight. How does it feel?
It feels great, you know. It's lovely for the club, you know. Have someone like Ken Beattie, who's the chairman. It's good for people like him, and me and David just honoured to be here.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, you've had a great, 12 months, been well documented on our show. Les and Anth followed you all the way to Wembley. Still got a great chance of winning the Northern League this season.
Yeah, we've got I think it's between 4 of us, you know. It's going to be tough, but it's going to be tough for the other 3 as well. So it's just who's got the medal at the end of the season, and that's, you know, things don't get presented this time of the year. It's come the April time, and we'll hopefully be in the mix at the end of it.
You're a big Newcastle fan as well. You do try to get as many games as you can, obviously, fixtures permitting. What's your views on Newcastle season so far?
I think we'll go up. I think Brighton and Newcastle have got the 2 strongest squads. Will they go up as champions? I'm not sure, but I think they'll. I definitely think they'll go up. Every time they have a defeat, they always seem to bounce back, which I think is the most important thing. But they've got some 4 tough away games coming up, and as long as they're still where they are, then I think there's no danger. Me personally, it might have been the kiss of death that way, but no, I'm confident they'll go up.
Anybody really impressed you this season at Newcastle? You know, when you look at the team and look at the players that have been brought in, nobody came in the transfer window, but Dwight Gale obviously was probably the biggest signing.
Dwight Gale's a massive miss at the minute, you know. John Shelby is fantastic. His variation of his passing and all that, you know, he's excellent. 2 centre halves are doing well in themselves, and Clark. So, you know, if you can score goals at the other end and make sure you keep clean sheets, you've always got a chance. And you know, I think they're a good squad, and I think they've got the best squad in the league, and that's why I think they'll go up.
Talking of great saves, Pickford's obviously won one of the awards tonight. Jermaine Defoe getting the goals has got him the other main award tonight. 2 Sunderland wins, but good players, we've got to admit it, haven't we?
Fantastic. I've just said to you before there, I would have Defoe tomorrow, you know. Pickford, you'd have him as well, you know. But, you know, we'll see where we all are next season.
Good stuff. Enjoy your night, mate.
Cheers to you.
Take care.
Well, that's it for part one. Join me in part two, where I speak to the main man himself, Jermaine Defoe.